Hello and welcome back to Crowswood Model Railway. This is a bit more of what I've been up to and some stuff that I've forgotten to mention in the last video in regards to having a trip down to Spa Valley. Well, to see family, went to Spa Valley while there. I did pick up some vehicles, so I picked up this SR open wagon and then this plywood wagon roll there. Then I plopped the Jeep in because I'm doing a bit of a war train. And the other thing that I picked up, move the war train out the line, there's a couple of coaches. One is this bullied Mark III brake coach, which I do think is quite nice. It's a bit of a weirdly loud. It's louder than all the other coaches and how much noise it generates from the wheels. But it's also one of the freest wheeling, where along the slight gradient which goes down along this part of the board, if I just leave it uncoupled, it will just roll down by itself, which can make assembling trains quite difficult because I usually do it in this sort of gap here. And then I also picked up Spa Alley, the restaurant cars. So I've put a brake coach that way around because I noticed Spa Valley and some other, the Bluebell and I think some other heritage lines, they run a brake coach next to the buffet counter like this, and they sort of use it to store things in, partly for the kitchen and for things like hot drinks or hot food or sandwiches or whatnot. Some of it's stored in there. I don't know if it would have run like that way back in 1943-44, but it does look interesting. I normally run this as a 4-car train with the Mansell brake, the Dyna, the composite, and then the composite brake, but I've just stuck that on the end just to show in this video what it looks like. Because a 5 coaches do fit just about, but the locomotive overhangs by quite a bit, so most of my trains are 4 coaches long. Another thing I have been up to is I have made a couple of buildings. It's not stuck down yet, but I've put a road bridge in. So Metcalf, a red brick version, with a double track, so technically double track above, and then goes over 2 lines underneath. And then along there will be a sloping retaining wall going down. And I'm not sure how I'm going to integrate it with the side of the board. At the moment you can see the inside of the bridge, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. But I've left a bit of tarmac on because the road continues down there, and there's the usual gauging of height using toilet roll and our kitchen roll tubes, because that was taller than I thought it was. I'm not actually using them as units of measurement, I'm just using them as a rough idea for how tall it might be for along the back there with those trees put in. It's not going to be insanely tall, it will have some height but it won't be too big. Another thing of another building, it's over here. I'll get closer so it's not all out of focus from the zoom, but that is a Metcalf single track brick engine shed. And I'll go under the board and go get closer to that. Right, so a bit closer, because I'm toying around with what's going where. I'm Still going to be putting a double track engine shed in here, but I might leave the siding that 695 is sat on sort of exposed and out. I moved the coal stave things I made over here. Thinking about how water towers might go. There's a farmhouse and there's the totally incorrect time period car. It's totally not there because the Mark 1 Fabia is my favourite car. And so, Aberdeen Commonwealth. I have sorted the dip, well not really a dip, but the change in gradient. So now nothing gets stuck along here. It's still uphill, and I'll still slow down a bit, and you need dusting, but I still slow down a bit as they come up, which is fairly normal. But there are no interruptions and nothing getting stuck or stuttering. From track level roughly, those are quite high, but that's not the total height. There'll be trees and things for the hills. So it's just to give me a rough idea, because I think that's about 20 centimeters tall. Just, again, rough idea. There's a closer look at the old tanks. So that one was already on the layout, and this one was added end of last month. I do especially like this. There's Guildford on the side, and then up there is a Guildford poster, a repro one, or the southern region. Added some bushes around here because there was light. I could notice now the sun's actually coming out. Had the curtains open a bit, and there's sunlight visible under certain parts of the walling, so I've just gone over and put some bushes over just to hide it so you can't see anymore what's under it. That it's not perfect over the rise and fall of this area. Just follow the around. Not sure what exactly how I'm doing this yet, but I will be putting in point motors before this area gets scenicked. But for now it's just the church and the Lich Gate and Pens and the War Memorial. It's from the other side of the bullied brake coach. One thing I thought interesting is when the family over, is they said that every time they looked somewhere they saw something new, which I guess because I put the details there, I don't get that. I've added some of the Javis walling over here as well. It's almost like it's a bit more adding to the castle ruins idea. That's just the base of whatever wall would have been there. The facing stones have been removed, and the stonework's probably been used on these houses and all the way over on the farm over there with the sheep on it. Potentially could even have been used there. Potentially, but I would like to think that this is more like this because it was done to fit in with the area, but I've not fully figured out why it is in terms of the story of the layout. There's Camelot. I'm going to go back under because I've done something else new for the first time, so I'm going to go back under and go show what I've done which is parked by the village. Okay, so now I'm back over by the village, and something I didn't think I'd do, but I actually brought a Helion locomotive. Essentially I'd seen the steam engines have been a bit iffy from Helian. Oh, but this class 33, it runs very smoothly. It doesn't start till about 35–40% power, but it is very smooth when it's up and running. It has directional lighting, but only going forward. So there's no tail lights going that way. There's no red. It's only the high intensity lights here, and the headboard lights up when it's going that way. But what I've done is I've fitted these plates because this locomotive is preserved. Because I was just having a look, thinking, let's have a look, see what there is livery wise, see if there's any BR green, and then found mainline grey. I thought, maybe I can rename it to 33063 and put the plates on, and then had a look and hang on, it is 33063. So ordered the plates, came in, and I am also getting a BR green one at some point. It's ordered to come into my local shop. Now, one issue with it in terms of being realistic to the actual one, turn it around, just get it rough, not exactly on the rails, but roughly on the rails. But this mainline logo on the engine, from all the pictures I've been seeing, so I didn't take any pictures while I was down there. I only took pictures of Sir Keith Park while I was down. The mainline logo should be here, and so these plates should really be here. But it doesn't look too bad, even though it's a bit of a compromise. That's still where it should be. I think that's Hither Green depot. But it still looks good. It still runs well. It doesn't derail, even though it has all the insane level of detail on the buffer beam. It doesn't cause any issues. So what I've done is I've put the chain link coupling and hooked it up so that it's not in the way. Then I fitted a Bachmann coupling. Whenever I fit couplings or replace couplings, I use the Bachmann ones because I've not had any trouble with them, except for when I was an idiot child and I was a bit too rough. But Hornby ones have had warped, Dabble ones I think a bit too fragile. And the Helian ones I do know are a bit off kilter, and even that's a bit down because of the socket, but it doesn't derail when it's pulling things or when it's running by itself. Although I do only use it on the fourth radius, pulling things, but running over the second radius. So it comes out here over third radius, the second, and on kind of like a chicane where it goes from that second radius curve onto the points onto the main line. There is no derailment by itself. I haven't put anything behind it to do that, but as it does it itself, it doesn't derail. So that was one thing I was worried about. It seems to be a bit more current hungry than some of the other engines, but otherwise it runs fine. At the same time, it's picking up those plates. I did pick up plates for, oh, there's it going to focus. It's 31430 Sister Dora. That was the first diesel locomotive that I've ever been pulled by. Been pulled by multiple units, but not an actual diesel locomotive until last month, which is pretty good going. So I brought plates for the Akira scale ones, which come out 31s, which come out next year. Because annoyingly, they're doing 31432, which is particularly annoying. But I've measured how big the number plates are against how big they are on the Helian 33 and on the 37, and they completely cover the numbers. So what I'll probably do is just stick them over the numbers instead of taking off the numbers and then reapplying just for one number difference. And these little oval ones will go on under the cab opposite side to numbers from what I've seen. And it's just a Dora plate, so I've got get lots of pictures and reference, but that's next year. That's buying way in advance. Considering that's not my normal what I'm normally into, being a diesel, it's a very nice model. It's the detail, the aesthetic on it is amazing. It was over lubricated. It was very over lubricated. There was lube on the backs of the wheels. I had to take a cotton bud to, but otherwise had no trouble with it, and it runs as I would expect it to. It has got the hugging sprung buffers. So I'm not using the tripod today because I'm moving around a lot, so it's just easier. Torch on. The village hasn't been really changed very much. So I'm thinking of in there getting some market stalls, but I'm not sure yet. The skull hasn't really changed. I might be temporarily placing this over there for an idea of size and scale. But all in all, it's been a good week or so of just doing stuff on here and doing little jobs around the house, getting them done so I'm not bored. Keeps me sane. I do still wish that Hornbeat put a proper rear pony truck on the back end of their Pacifics, but hey ho, I think Bachmann have done it slightly better, even though it's on the V2, even though it's not as nice as I would like. And I just want to see so as it goes around the rails, it follows the rails. I don't want it to be fixed and it doesn't look right. Well, I think that's about everything, including the stuff that I missed and some little tiny scenic updates. I have caught a bit of a bug because I did really enjoy applying these, so I might do that again before next year when I can do it on 31430. I might just put names onto locomotives that I would run as if it were a heritage, a diesel gala or something along those lines, instead of just putting realistic names onto things, because the Aberdeen Commonwealth has a nameplate on. Bring her backwards. So she's already got a nameplate on. Camelot does. It's just a matter of what engines don't have them that I can fix them onto. Have a little bit of fun, or just have fictional names on a few things. Because I do have some, as well as another class 33. I do have 2 other diesels on the way. So when they arrive, I'll do a video showing them. But, yeah, I think that's everything, and bloody hell, it's nearly 20-minute long video, so I will sign off. I don't know when I'll do a video next, probably when I get the other diesels, or if any steam engines, steam engines that I pick up especially that Hatton seem to be having a massive clearance of Hornby products, looking at how much is in the bargain bin at the moment. So I'd have to have a virtual rummage through that. But yeah, there's not been a lot going on. Still need people for there. But yeah, right, well, I've run out of things to say, so I will sign off and maybe upload a video of that running with some stuff behind, not sure what. But yeah, these are good locos, so as long as you don't have quality control issues, because I know the steam engines do, good engines. I just wish the body was on with clips so that when I come to service it, it's easier. Perks of running analog, I don't have to faff about with digital chips. Right. I'll upload at some point when more stuff's arrived or I've done more things. I don't know when that'll be, but yeah. Well, see you in the next video and stay safe and well, just have fun with your railways and whatever it is you're doing.